Welcome to what is, seriously, the cutting edge of creativity. For basically all of human history, art required a physical skill, right? A steady hand, a painter's eye, but today we are right in the middle of a revolution that is changing absolutely everything.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. What if you could take the wildest images in your head and put them right onto a screen just by describing them? This isn't some sci-fi movie, it's happening right now.
And look, I know this stuff can feel like absolute magic, but it's pure science. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're going to see exactly how AI creates so you can become an even more powerful creator yourself.
Okay, so first things first, we've got to get our heads around how an AI actually sees the world. It doesn't have eyes, obviously. It uses math, and it uses patterns. And this all happens inside its digital mind, which is built on a really fascinating structure we're about to dive into.
So at the very heart of AI vision, you've got this thing called an artificial neural network, or ANN for short. And it's a system that's literally designed to mimic our own brains. But instead of squishy biological neurons, ANNs use digital neurons that are organized in these neat layers to process information.
So here's how it all stacks up, literally. When an AI looks at an image, that first layer, it just sees the super simple stuff, like lines, edges, maybe a splash of color. Then the next layer takes those and says, hey, these lines make a circle. Deeper layers then start assembling those shapes into more complex things, like an eye or a nose, until bam, the final layer puts it all together and goes, that's a cat.
Now, this is absolutely crucial to get. The AI isn't programmed with a rulebook that says a cat has pointy ears and whiskers. No, it learns by example. It analyzes this massive dataset of millions of images, and each one has a little text description. This training data, it becomes its library of the entire visual world.
So picture this. The AI gets shown a photo and is told, a Bengal tiger walking through a dense mangrove forest. Or it sees the Mona Lisa and learns, this is a portrait by Leonardo da Vinci. After going through millions of these pairs, it's not just memorizing pixels, it's actually learning the mathematical vibe of things. It's learning what makes a tiger a tiger.
Okay, you ready? Now we get to the main event. The most powerful trick in the AI art playbook today is something called a diffusion model. And it's a wild idea. It works by creating masterpieces from pure, total chaos.
It all starts with, well, chaos. Imagine taking a perfectly clear picture and just slowly adding digital noise or static to it step by step, until it's just a fuzzy mess. The AI is then trained to do the exact opposite. It becomes an expert at looking at that static and figuring out what the slightly less messy version looked like, one step at a time. It becomes a master denoiser.
But here's the real game changer. This is the part that changes everything. The AI doesn't just denoise back to the original picture. No, the entire process is guided by your words. You become the director of this whole creative process.
So when you type in a prompt, something just like this, you're not just writing words, you're actually giving the AI a mathematical roadmap. It starts with that random noise, but with every single step of denoising, it nudges the emerging patterns to look more and more like its idea of a peacock and rain and a Mughal garden.
So think of your prompt like a super detailed set of instructions for a masterpiece. The key is to get specific. What's the subject? What's the style? Is it a photo, an oil painting, anime? How about the composition and the lighting? The more delicious details you feed it, the closer the AI can get to bringing your vision to life.
All right, so the AI has learned all this stuff, but where does it keep it all? The answer is this kind of mind-bending concept called latent space. Let's try to wrap our heads around it.
Okay, try to imagine this. A massive, multi-dimensional, totally invisible map of, well, every visual idea the AI has ever learned. And on this map, the idea of a tiger is located really close to the idea of a lion, but it's way far away from skyscraper. It's a map that's organized by meaning. Okay, so let's try an experiment. We ask for a car. The AI zips over to a specific point on this map, a coordinate that just screams car. Now we ask for a tiger. The AI goes to a completely different spot, far away on the map that represents tiger. Simple enough, right? But here's the crazy part. What if we asked the AI to go to the spot right in the middle of those 2 points? What on earth lies on the path between a car and a tiger?
And that is where the real magic kicks in. The AI can literally walk the mathematical path between those two ideas in latent space. It can find the halfway point and generate a tiger-striped car, or maybe a car with glowing feline headlights. This process, it's called interpolation, and it is the foundation of AI's truly limitless creativity.
Okay, so this technology is obviously incredibly powerful. And, with great power comes, well, the rest. We have to talk about how to use it responsibly. As you can imagine, with a tool this powerful, there are some pretty big hurdles we're all trying to figure out. For one, if the data the AI learned from has biases, guess what? The art can have those same biases. Then there's misinformation. This tech can be used to create very realistic fakes. And finally, the whole legal world is scrambling to figure out copyright and what it even means to mimic an artist's style.
So, for us as creators, it's really helpful to have a kind of ethical compass to guide us. Some pretty good ground rules are, don't create harmful or deceptive stuff about real people. Be open about when you're using AI. Really think about the impact of the images you're making. And finally, respect human artists. Get inspired, sure, but don't just copy.
I want you to remember this. You are literally among the very first generation of artists to ever use a tool like this. You're not just a user of some software. You are a pioneer, and you are actively shaping what this whole new art movement is going to become.
The art you choose to create, the stories you tell, all of it is going to help define what this new world of art looks like. So the final question isn't just about what you can create, it's about what you should create. The challenge now is to make something that's not just beautiful, but meaningful. So, what will you create?